Hello, Mr. Berete.
Yeah, so sorry about it. I think
No,
my
no,
internet fluctuate.
no problem, no problem. You know, say right now, then guy they spend all kind money for go out for now where they sensitize people them. So we
I
can
know.
look at that kind way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so me fambulem una kusha una kaba una adu. This is a cast TV and na we program Saloon for Better. As the elections they come for Salona, the general elections when are June 24, this 2023. We get for bring una people them way, get for can sensitize una way. I mean, for can tell una school una waiting una for what for when kind thing they come up, especially then general election yeah, where you put government, where you put president, we work or we not work. People away for can tell una either una for vote for them or una not for vote for them back. So who that una will they bring for una today? Will they bring for una Mr. Abdoulaye Berete? Abdoulaye Berete, una know am na somebody wey na be the former presidential spokesman for Anes by Kuruma in government. And we na say akas we be don crown and say we get entitled say na the political scientist because e know wetin na politics. So we go bring a can today. I mean, it will can give una small education about the elections we get for come and things we get for happen and what you una get for do as citizen for una get a better life. Welcome, Mr. Abdoulaye Berete to CRCast TV.
Thank you very much for this opportunity always. But I must say I miss Sarah Cast. It's been a while. Apart the last time one member wanna give me the opportunity. Now I go right now in a very fantastic studio in New Jersey. And I feel very humble. That memory is still there in my head.
Thank you very much, Mr. Berete. And Mr. Berete, what you want do? We be just want make since you can educate people and today for things they will not know. For let them aware because this past 5 years, the suffering where people don't suffer, even to una way they na the diaspora, the money the way don't come on una pockets for help people they no more. We will not be the ever the beg una, but then go beg una this sleep because the thing tranga. So waiting na the state of preparedness about this upcoming election June 24.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mansare. The first message what I get for Sierra Leoneans then now for let them understand say we dey go into these elections with some optimism for say we know they go into war. We dey go for go elect with leaders them as provided for in we 1991 constitution. We say after every 5 years, Sierra Leoneans them because now we na the boss them. Now we what you call the police. Make them come give we an account was very clear as I dey talk to you, me own party what they me own flag bearer. They don't make them very clear say in believe in democracy and therefore we for make sure say we promote good governance, free, transparent and fair elections. That way they when in go can power, nobody no go can for begin can talk say oh na rogue the rogue am. And the other message where I want make very clear to the SLPP and President Biona that and thing where they feels then they intimidate people them, then they begin move around with them AK-47 weapon them, then they give people them gun them for threaten people them. I think say President Bio for no one thing. Sierra Leoneans cannot be intimidated. Violence not they make them change their minds because this election it can be a referendum in the sense teen the Trangana the country. They don't already be don't come since 2018. They say that they come with a new direction. But they don't fail the country, they don't fail the people them. Today the economy a day in Basak. Now I make the people and say, you know what in this strangeness will don't happen. We don't want them again. We prefer more we give APC an opportunity. But because that message they don't go very clearly to Mother Bio and the people them, then they try for use bribery now. Then they use people them for cross carpets to them party. Then they use money. Then they use violence and intimidation. And then they give some kind hate speech them. We then feel say then go intimidate because I not see a reason why them for begin go pull Dr. Samura and poster then a Freetown. Then they go threaten say them in poster then not for day na Kailaung and other places then. That is outrightly wrong. Now that make why should they talk to President Bill may understand say the will of the people is supreme. We also they call on the state institutions them we get something for do with the elections, like the ONS Office of National Security, the Sierra Leone Police, the military, and most importantly, the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone. May they understand say then they just so preside over this process. Not to them business for run a political narrative in terms of who side for go. Now that make as a party, we take the greatest exception. We, the Southern Region Electoral Commissioner, he make a political statement say the Western world they want support APC for a regime change. A regime change is not coming from those people. It is the people of Sierra Leone, Sierra Leoneans, and we all. Now we don't tire because of the violence in the country, the human rights issues in our country, the strangeness within our country, all lentin and they combine. Now that make us say we are going into a referendum so that we will kick Mother Bio in government out.
Now, just say, John, we dey with Mr. Abdoulaye Berete, when the former presidential spokesman for the Anes Baikoma and administration, and a person we na Serakas now crown and tell them give the name say na a political scientist because you know the ups and downs how politics they run na Sierra Leone and globally in fact because now we no do political science and so Mr. Berete now wetin you dey talk about the state of security for voters because like he talk say then guy they come inform the last option no they get on intimidation. They go pull waiting but the only thing what I feel am for with this intimidation, most of the first time voters the way they no not see waiting happen then January 6. Then for this and tell because a lot of people don't travel abroad. Because if not like we be there in Freetown, where then be they pass with the AK-47 where America, I mean Nigeria, they enter Salou, then G3, LMG. When then they come there, even when they fire the gun, you didn't know say this not to saloon gun. Because not to the way they go put AK-47, you go tie 3 magazine there, where you go fire tell the thing one pass you and don't for let cold. So the intimidation they now where then guy then crude. Then need to be refined. It always for let they refine them. For Mother Bio take condom, they are very crude. That's why then they behave so say they go intimidate people with gun. And even the lady na abacha. So then they and the way sabi play with gun. So now me couldn't they intimidate people with gun. People and they look themselves. Now lie they lie. How this election for happen, it happen, and how they want bring and come for saloon people. Now so saloon people and they give them. So from the top to the bottom, they just crude. They're not able to intimidate people with them. Look, when you look at the one all West Africa, now saloon they see the saloon police, where you see the OSD them. They reckless and dirty and smell past any kind police them. Any kind police na the world. You see how they behave, they don't get ethics. So now they don't forget about the until you say when they want to intimidate people, and salon people are not get for take that. So which they talk about the state of the security for voters, Mr. Berete.
You know, then go try for intimidate Sierra Leoneans. But I only hope Mother Bio will go back into history. May it no say people's power cannot be thwarted. Because we know some of we in this alone, we are part of the struggle for maintain the democracy. We all see from 1997 force, Lam begin remind Mother Bio and company. 1997, we all see what happen. We been get an AFRC coup in our country. The people them then defy that coup who all come who say no. Law we get try to Tijan Kaba in government, the SLPP then, because we believe say the people and we don't vote 1996 with all the sacrifice that we they don't make. We a member, we in the president's beyond 10 and day. He was the interim president where he say no go assure we of the security of the people and for go vote. We defy. We go, we vote. We end up forget democracy. 1997, the AFRC come, the people and say no. That sacrifice we don't make, we want for consolidator. Eventually, we move the war, be the calm, we go on, till we end up forget the 1999 Lome Peace Agreement of July. But even that agreement day, President Bio had a reminder, maybe he dey forget. We know say one person will not be one for grief for comply with the provisions of the Lome Peace Agreement. Now for the Sanko, even though they make and the chairperson for the natural resources of the country with the status of a vice president. Eventually, the people them, now we march go now in place now Spur Road. We go there, from there, now they will know say for the Sanko in time done. So President Bio for just know say, you know what? All the intimidating tactics and way then they do, the minds of the people are resolved. That thing way, then the soldier man, then they come, then they all gun them, then they threaten, say this now for too long, people them, anybody we feel say mad enough for here. Some of you know they take that serious. The only seriousness so we attach to that, we they make sure say we identify the people them na them videos then we note the dates and the statements them because they could be potential candidates for international criminal law and justice. So that is what we are doing. Now that make from the pronouncements that we mother they make, the pronouncements that we in WEF they make for say Ingo promotes mob justice for any people that will not comply, and in the divisive politics where they make the rhetorics them and hate speech, we they bring them. But I want tell Sierra Leoneans them, with all their intimidating tactics they are, may they just know say that them votes they are very precious, may they not afraid, this election with the ulama, and by God in your power, nothing not they come out of it. That violence then threaten the honor in vain. We they make sure say come June 24, when are just few more weeks, we they go into elections, then Sierra Leoneans then go come and jubilate, say, thank God, a liberation they don't come because they don't pull Malabio because they're not good for Sierra Leone. So that is the assurance I'm giving people. May they know say they go threaten you, they go intimidate you, but at the end of the day, the truth will last. And waiting at the truth. The people are resolved to go and vote Dr. Samora and the APC en masse, so that Mother Bio with all the election promises the way he make in what he call the New Direction Manifesto. When we evaluate them, all don't come to nothing. And the reference point for this, now the Institute for Governance Reform, when a IGR, we then pull a report recently that most of the things that we then talk about the manifesto now just political propaganda and rhetorics. And because of that, people propaganda not they solve the issues in our country. You go come, you say, oh, the economy will they try, the economy good. But when you go to market with money, the amount of goods and way they buy and services the way they pay for, you they know say we they in what you call double-digit inflation. And when inflation day, the country people and they cry things and tranga. So intimidation, not they address that tranganess day. Now that make the only answer is to kick these guys out of governance.
Yeah, me people when I just dey join we this na Cast TV. We dey with Ablai Berete, when are the former presidential spokesman for the former president Ernest Bai Koroma Sierra Leone. And Mr. Berete, what you talk since you dey na Western world, and I dey assure you and I believe say you pikin where you born for 1 or 2 term where you don't tell and things them when I lie. One day you go talk to her, I go tell you say that you are lying. That for sure. Now, him Madabio don't do to the people of Sierra Leone. You come, they assure you, you say they come with new direction. People that believe in you. Tell we say they give you Lunge Bridge. Where it's not possible. You tell we say they give you bakery. You not possible. You tell we say they give you electric train. You not do am. You tell we say we not go import rest again, give we turban boom. Go sit down on top tractor.
You said now they do 50 vaccine.
You lie per we. You know, and not happen. Then you tell we say they give you the state of the art hospital where nobody no go Ghana any side again. You not do am. Then you tell we say them picking a free and quality education. Fatima see a live jaran. He said then they give shoes, then they give clothes, uniform, then they give food and waiting at night. Dry memuna. Where the almost 1,000 bag resca and Timbo na then farm. Then go then sheba among themselves. Chief Minister, a come that former Chief Minister who people them they call Mr. 1% or Kenema Babu. He go he thief money where Alpha Bawan prosecutam. Ben Kelfala, Ibab, like Victor Fo, na him go, he say the man no get kiss. Imagine, you know, then money we no reach. Waiting and say Samura, deceiving principal. Na in that court state today. Ben Kelfala, he check chief minister and money we thief within 72 hours. He say the man no get kiss. So all that thing there, look Madabio, look the side the way you in Canada or America, you township. For them go put 50 factory there. Madabio they go like our people they say they can't put 50 factory. The bridge where you tell you no bila. Now 50 factory they go put. They go back look the money where you go like per Lonsar say na that money they give them. Not to mistake na the right thing they talk. But all them thing there evidence then they for less alone people they know say there is no reason wo for vote for man wey sit don 22 year e no work. For go vote for him back. Now God they come up BNS. So now come on, I don't want to delay time, Mr. Berete. And I want law we look at back, Mr. Berete, where the state of democracy, good governance, and human rights in Sierra Leone when this election they come. How you feel say you want to talk on that? Because like we not see like any human rights activity they go on at the country, because in the kitchen no more then go lock you, no get any case against you, then go put you out. So what you get for say about that, Mr. Berete?
Thank you. You don't touch on very, very important issues then. We now the issues them we really they touch the minds of Sierra Leoneans. When you mention about that Lunge Bridge, we've been looking and say, you know what? When it comes and development, law we put politics inside. Because them prince polo they all. Me, people then call me na. They say, hey, bra, wango danso, this even though na APC ude, but when at the bridge, some people they wait and they lunge, this go ease the transport, some of we go relocate na lunge because it go easy for can walk na Freetown because Freetown congested. At the end of the day, then go, then sell, give people, and then polo, then they be on a scam. And you can't scam the people them. Then when elections come, you want them same people and they for go vote for you. Because people, we are not stupid anymore. No, we all don't awaken, not take we for granted. Then you commodity. You can't tell we say inside 6 months in your manifesto, you will fix the economy. Inside 6 months, that then tell we. Then go bring rest, then go invest in agriculture, then go do this. But the first thing where the bank governor will run away, from where can't tell we say He don't invest $68 million. In fact, he not say invest, he say them bribe the business people them for let them able to get the dollar for let the way they want them. They're not able to address them bread and butter issues, and they when now on that platform they come into governance. Then they get again the audacity for can't tell we say when I vote for we will be a better government. Then commodity, the state of the heart hospital. Sometimes it is just sad. This very government, when we introduced the free healthcare initiative, where it be say it was done after a thorough research, where even Lancet, one of the most prestigious health magazine in England, then come and say, you know what? This free healthcare initiative here, if Sierra Leone continue with them, where young picking them under 5, mama them we get young picking them, we get belle, then till and day, if then just that 5,000 way then they pull that user fees, then go they know they buy medication. They say go a long way. I remember where SLPP they campaign then telling they say that rubbish, the free healthcare and nonsense. But eventually then people then benefit from it because we end up for construct one of the modern hospital in Nakailaun for them for promotes the healthcare initiative. Then when they come, they say, you know what, they can bill. In fact, there's no say, they say the money where then they get from corruption from the ACC. Now that money then they use or even bill for we a state of the art hospital. 30 day, I not see them. Then when they asked the Minister of Information recently, na 98.1 about the bakery way president's been promised we, he say no, they answer that question, they make one mat. But we will get for all you accountable because your government made promises so that we are not hoodwink we, the people. And those are legitimate questions the journalists were asking because the journalists, they ask questions and just like what you're doing, based on waiting the people and they grumble butts on the ground. So that be created today, we not see them. Then when you can't touch on the issues of human rights, quite recently, the U.S. State Department, it pulled a very damning report on the human rights situation in Sierra Leone, as well as Amnesty International. Then talk about extrajudicial killings, then talk about arbitrary arrest. But when I see all that one day, look somebody like Blacker, somebody where me know they call Chris Mann as a mental health specialist, and they say somebody where they deal with some mental health challenges then. For later young man day, he come public, he criticized Mana Bio because of economic policies then. Instead of them carry and go to a mental home for go get a specialist support, the next thing, then drag and go to magistrate court, then go arrest them. Then you begin to wonder, where is section 25 of freedom of speech where they guarantee we under chapter 3 of the 1991 constitution? Then Zainab Sharif, a very modest young lady where they promote the entertainment industry in our country, it creates employment for young people them. He no hide behind the scenes. He come publicly in a Facebook thing. He talk. He say, Mr. President, you don't fail we. What is wrong for say you don't fail we? And he come with very tangible excuses them and reasons them. He even come with issues them when are divisive things them in our country. We president in where they can't tell we say anybody we know to SLPP not to true Sierra Leonean. Who then are in for can't tell we who then are true Sierra Leonean or not. And when then goes people then come then go after you, they talk say they count mob justice. We see how from that mob justice day, we see how then go the old Zainab Sharif, then go incarcerate them, then Kera go necessarily in the CID. Then you begin to wonder where is the thing where the reports with Amnesty International pull, instead of the police then come and address the issues them in good faith, but then they go pull one longer press release, they deny say, no, they not get human rights violations. Then what about LAJ? An artist where if you say he involved in a crime, even before they care and go to courts for let them find him guilty, you go shape in aid, you go pull in dreads. Do you know what's in at the meaning of them dreads and they to ram? Do you know whether not a spiritual journey they in? Then when they ask the former IG, they say, oh, then get what they call a standard operating procedure that anybody with their own, then get for 48. Where did you get that one? That is gross human rights violations. You don't do that because I have not yet been charged, I have not been convicted or prosecuted. Why should you come and interfere with my body, including my ear? So these are all issues then where the government, the reports right now, are not good for we. Then imagine August 10 demonstrations then. The president come before he not been there in the country, you know, they ever did in Sierra Leone, where he come, instead of he wait for let them give him an update, the next thing he run. He say na APC, na coup they want make, they want overthrow him, they want this, that. He talk all kind thing. Then they set up a committee. Now I tell and say, Mr. President, you are wrong. I be there for it on intended. I say it is wrong. You know who don't come, you don't run a narrative, you don't make statements then you say they can't set an investigative committee. And me for patient, good leader for don't patient, let it set an investigative committee, then from the committee it take the cue. Now I make I also don't condemn the August 10 report say, now all the language where the president used, now and just go right. Because when you look at even the composition of the membership them, now people then we don't come, then don't run commentary on the August 10 demonstrations, then don't take the line of the president. So the president, he play him. He just take them same people and they go put and say, una make the committee. So you know what? The president for land for take we serious. We don't pass them play cook politics there way they play. We don't pass that stage there. Take us serious. Human rights issues are very serious. After August 10, somebody in a Ministry of Information, they say then go shoot and kill. At the end of the day, poor evangelist Samson and McKinney, what did they do? Then go shoot her from the back. The police light we say na crossfire. How crossfire they happen when not from the back when I shoots the person? 30 day. Then where is the Pademba Road report? You don't come, then do August 10 demonstration. In less than no time, the reports come up. Where are the reports of the killings in Tumbo? Where are the reports of the killings in Lunge, in Tonkolimba, in Makeni, in Tumbo, and Pademba Road prison? Where are those reports? When we challenge them, say reports not there, they say, oh, the correctional service don't make a report. The correctional service are involved in the prison system. How can they give us a very objective report? We not so stupid people them. Then get for treat that country there with seriousness. And that is our country. We didn't have the diaspora, but trust me, politics and good governance na Sierra Leone, everybody business, just like how una na Sarah cast. Una they take una precious time for una left what una they do on a Sunday for can discuss Sierra Leone. It means you get a good wish for our country. And that is all what we want for our country.
Okay, me people now just join with this Nasarcast TV with your program Salon for Better. And we there with the former presidential spokesman, we na Mr. Abdoulaye Berete, we Nasarcast, we get a title say na a political scientist because you know what they do, you know what they talk. Not so somebody where you can't put money in our pockets, in pockets for let talk waiting stupid. Mr. Berete, what you don't talk. You get a lot of people that they own at the maximum correctional center when at Pademba Road, where they unlawfully. You get an opposition leader when at Kamarimba, they lock and they because they talk waiting right. Then get an artist where he get a lot of followers than a Freetown. When a LAJ, they lock and they then get people away then take, then go arrest people in Lonsar, where be demonstrate for their rights. Then they get people away then go kill na McKinney, then one other they arrest and carry, then get people away then go kill na Tumbo. They arrest and kill some, then put them inside it. They get people in Tonkolimba, where then go kill small but they arrest. You see them people there, they come no more. The method then carry say APC will kill and intimidate and then go afraid. But they don't know say something then they even push where you push am na the wall, na the chair go know say push get clause, e dey pull am per you. So dem don push the salon people dem to the wall, and the salon people dem don prepare. Then guy dem come, na so lie dem dey lie palm people dem, kill people dem, fit say dem go free. Lima, why you not show up? You dey run now, they go I died na corner. No, right now, not to them. This the way na be analogo. This time now na soft church. They see una all wetin una dey do. Fatima they come, they lie palm people, they madla bio, they can they lie palm people, but all thing they in records. So then thing they are always and don't do to silent people them. When I make her, they say them very good. Them fit say naturally. Now all thing they show all thing waiting they happen. So the people them when all they listen to Sarkas, would they with Mr. Ablai Berete, we na the political scientist, we na be the former presidential spokesman for Anes Baikoma. Mr. Berete, waiting you think now, waiting are the issues them where you feel say you get for look at about these upcoming elections?
You touch on the arbitrary arrest them, and with Constitution 1991 Cap 6 very clear that the rule of law, anybody should be presumed innocent for any alleged crime until proven guilty beyond all reasonable doubt in a court of law. Now, when they set up the August 10th report, Boko of the people and where they say they name as people of interest, they not even talk to them. That alone it go against the norms of natural justice, the principles of natural justice. Because at the end of the day, you have to hear the other side of the story. Now, look at the contradictions them where this government don't come with. I remember where them be one for pull the part 5 of the criminal libel law. I remember then telling the sludge, then contact some of we for law be parts of that committee for brainstorm on how to support the government. And some of us, we are very passionate about that criminal libel law. Because I remember 1993, I've been reporter for the New Breed Press. The same mother below them, they arrest we. They say because we publish a story on the diamond business. Some of we go to jail and go jail we for over 3 weeks today behind bars. When them pull we na do, I remember Mother Bio and company, they kind of CID, then they go threaten, say why them for pull we na do, then they lock we back. So we suffered under that. Then, if una don't pull part 5 of the criminal libel law of 1965 Public Order Act, then you look at now, una go come with a cyber security law, where they say anybody will talk una clamp am. You know what? Mother Bio for no say, let it go read from 2010, the Arab Spring Usai start. Now, one green person, we don't suppress the people them. They go, then they harass them, he market everything at Tunisia. Now he born himself, that then lead to a big thing at the Arab Spring. The people's power. Now him torpedo somebody like al-Bashir and Sudan with all in military might. Now people's power pull them. At the end of the day, now people's power, even now one of the most advanced democracies in the world, we now America. Now people's power now in kick out Donald Trump from power. So why in feel say in powerful past the people and we give them the work? Commodity, you come, you say you they pull the death penalty. We support that one day. You don't pull them. But from 2018 to now, where the death penalty before you they pull them, the number of people and where they don't kill arbitrarily, it pass even when the death penalty be in our books. This again is a subject so let people go cross check up, fact check up for me. Because at the end of the day, when we they talk about good governance, now best practice. But when you come with contradictory policies, then you come, you preach peace. Then the next day, you they go, you they do things where they against the peace of the country. Then in self in cohorts them eventually, then they become a security threat in our country. But the people's power is going to resist them to make sure we go into these elections without any issues, because at the end of the day, the political masters them, the political sovereigns in the state, when now we the people them, now we get for determine who therefore exercise power over we. And one let President Bio also know say democracy not only start and stop na the ballot box. Anybody will come who for all them accountable as Sierra Leoneans. That is good governance. That is democracy. So they'll not go wait, say what happens, Gary, like waiting, then can give we 419 so, then say then come with a new direction. So to me, that is my optimism, and I encourage every Sierra Leonean them. Like them political statements and way that they go and talk, say, if oh now they sit down, if APC can have power, then they can't target one of them and they people them, or then they can't target the Southeast. That now one of the most cheap political bigotry statements I don't ever hear. That is cheap politics. If you have something to sell to Sierra Leoneans, then sell us your policies. Tell us why you see don't take today the dollar, $100 US, don't go to 2,350,000 leones. Then, big as that money they sound, where people then go to market, now small things then they go buy. That is inflation. Tell us that. Not go instill fear in the people them. But that market say where then they go and sell for say, and then they can't target the team them, the mandate them, sorry, then they can't put around on our job them. That is not the APC. When we be there in governance, we know the SLP people are within our finance. President Kuruma say una left them. They are Sierra Leoneans. Let them work in the best interest of the country. We know them. But for let them go begin tell them people there for instill that fear day, it is bad. And the good thing is we are taking note of all the people that when they make their kind of hate speeches that day. Eventually, if anything happen, they will be brought to book. That is the thing. So nobody not afraid. Keep your ID card. For can't tell you say, oh, then say, no, can't collect time, they go and give money. If they count you the money, all the money, read Al-Fatiha Panam, our Lord prayer, eat them. Now part of the redistribution of waiting and don't take from you, now they give you. But your ID, your voter ID card, not give nobody, keep them to yourself. When the time reach, you go vote for APC because it's the only party that can bring changes them where they work with the grassroots people them. Now I make Dr. Samura Kamara don't make it clear. In first priority way come into governance, what strategic interventions can we make to address the dire economic straits in our country? I think that's a very powerful approach.
Okay. Thank you. Me people, I want to just say join this na Cast TV with the program Salon for Better. And Mr. Begete, a lot of things the way you highlight on, and as we now part of the Pan-African Union, we they look for how the benefits of black people and them for survive in Africa. So a kind of statements them where them people they bring tribal business. We not believe in them. We believe in the people, the people's power. Where be they talk about the people's power will never be defeated. Then make them say Africa is for Africans. The people power will never be defeated. And when the people don't make up their mind, and no matter whatever you bring, whatever money you go bring, come. Lord, the advice let them take and eat. Yes, the people's power will never be defeated, and this na the kind states where we say Nelson Mandela ideology. Now they run right now na Sierra Leone. Amangla Aweto is Aweto. Will never African power, the people's power will never be defeated. So all them plan their way, mother bio they go pull and people them. It's just like they are crude. They come from the village and they do village ideology, and the people of Sierra Leone they already make up their minds. You know, get no way he ever convince them. If Fatima don't say, "Maybe they woke." People in London say, "It not be the work." Na council host there be day, and they say, "A money way work na England, take and go give people in Abo or Kenema light." But just people no more, they just feel say they're so cool that who side they na they then they. So Mr. Beggett say, as me know you as a political scientist and all the things side the way you don't work, you don't lecture at Afrobe College, you na mixer, at least you know the country in benefit you they look for, not to individual benefits. Because by right, you dey in Canada, you dey work, you dey get your money, you don't need Sierra Leone, but just because you want see the better for Salone people them, now make you the talk. So Mr. Beggett, waiting at the last word you want give people them, let us know hold you up to this time. Waiting at the last word you want give people them when our voters them na Sierra Leone and waiting them for think but for let themselves get a better life.
Thank you. My last word now for first to tell you and the management of Sarah Cars plenty thank you for way una always they give me this opportunity for that talk to Sierra Leoneans and both at home and in the diaspora. We are all in this together because all what we are doing, even just beyond party politics, now how for make sure say we country go before. And the way we country go before, now through democracy, good governance, and the respect for the rule of law. Now I may call the alliances and where people that they come, they say, oh, I believe in Madabio, I make that can join. Most of them now egocentrism and the personal interest. Now in them they can go under the guise say when they come who believe in Madabio. You believe in Madabio at a time when they don't pull a report on human rights. We don't damn 'em. When the economy they in dire straits, where everybody they in a paranoid. Violence has been the order of the day. They have no message for Sierra Leoneans. And una the viewers them and listeners them at this program are always that say una na una gets the power. You have the power to effect the changes then. If you ever say them rig elections, now the people agree. If you ever say them come do violence and intimidation, now the people agree. I salute the people them because they don't demonstrate, say, you know what? The will of the people can never be thwarted. And that will they and resilience, we will get so. Now the same will and resilience, we students them in Soweto in 1976, then your modest contribution for kick out apartheid in South Africa. Now I make the sacrifice way a post student, 13-year-old, like Hector Peterson, being the first person with them gone down. But today, would they live for talk the fine history of South Africa as a resilient people who moved to kick out apartheid. And if I make that same analogy there, people's power becomes sacrosanct in Sierra Leone come June 24, elections not to affect. Go and exercise your democratic right by voting your conscience. If you feel say you they enjoy, you life okay, you they get electricity, you data, you they able get your data for do you studies them, you able move from one point to the other, you not get for look like shoulder, what thing will happen in terms of your security, then it's up to you. But if you believe, say, you know what? The personality of Dr. Samura is such that in demeanor, in calmness, it will come for let it make a U-turn so that all the terrible and despicable things the way this mother and people they do, we will make a U-turn and position Sierra Leone and the international community as a serious country. Then that option is in your hands. So I always say, Una, thank you for listening, and I appreciate that you are resolved that you will never be cowed down through intimidation. Your vote is your right, and the right is to determine who should exercise political power over you.
Mr. Beggett, I be don't say that last word, but there's something kind of in my number. I don't know if you want church there or you want go because we dey see some we dey see some people like Mr. Beggett. I don't know we can call them political prostitute or arata them. Like them Victor Fo, Alpha Khan and Kande Umkela. I don't know if you want Rob Motele, you'll end that one day. I don't know. If you know and do it, that's fine.
I can talk on that. You know, I just feel like for somebody like Kande Umkela. I get some cousin them na Philadelphia. I go Philadelphia, I go na one attire base where I can go hang out na Woodland Avenue. Yom Kela go there, He go talk the most horrible things about SLPP and APC. Then he coined the word say na Lansane and Lusain, and that in at the base we have for transform. Now I get some in cousin there. All the small money we then they get that all them be they contribute to to Kanda Yom Kela in NGC. Where he ready for left them, you know, even consult them, you know, even talk to them again. I don't think say that's a serious way of taking politics and politicians. You gotta respect the people there. Then up to last minute, people in the diaspora then send money for let them hold a convention for NGC. Why you for waste people in time for go do that kind of thing in there? Where you already don't make up your mind say, now go they go so. From that time way then go na Cambia, where Mother Bio say in one let Kanda Yom Kela come back SLPP. If na person way been very honest to him for supporters and followers them, it no need for say a whole word. All you need for say, pa, with all due respect, you know what? I think say I get for do consultations with me people them. But when you say you old word, now you your personal thing. Eventually, it's saying come on a strategic alliance. What is the strategic alliance you're coming for? What is there that is so strategic in the SLPP that you want to join? And as somebody we don't work in international institutions, them we know what it mean on human rights issues, them. Then you are saying, you know what? I'm going to join at a time where they just don't slam the government about human rights violations then. So when you do that, it becomes very dishonest in the body politic of a country. In as much as it is their right, because in the constitution, they say the right to association is your own right as a person. But when you come into politics, that association, you gotta do consultations. When you do that, then people take you serious. Then the least I talk about Victor Fo and Alpha Khan, the better. Because the person we been come at the limelight, NGC, it can be take people the money there. It's saying they can be the basic and Lansane and Lusain not fail we. Now I make us say when if they take the money, they travel, they go all around. They're way ready for taking decision and beyond closed doors. I don't think that is an honest way of doing politics.
Okay. Thank you very much. Me people them una be just a listing from the former presidential spokesman when Mr. Liberty for an Escoma in government. And he just talked recently about Victor Fo, Alpha Khan, and Kanda Mukela. And Kanda Mukela, we don't be they talk for us. Say Acacia even before elections would say na criminal, na grand pig. Then big grand pig them. Whether they go na New York, then big leg og. Now I can't Mukela Ratif man. So now I don't prove unto people. So people them we go left with an so today. We don't talk to Mr. Abdoulaye Berete, where would they call the political scientist, where na the former presidential spokesman for Anes by Kroma. So we go left with an so today. This is Cast TV, as we give una every weekly update on waiting the app in a salon. We producer today and the man where they behind the engineer, where they behind the machine na Amjad Jalomiba and me na Abdoulaye Mansari. I tell una thank you for letting una watch we and we will see una back next week. Una tata.